Welcome here on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni Aji Shafe. Well, it's time to take around the world of sport. Trending in the world of sport, a lot of stories, but I'll be starting on a very sad note because former Nigeria under 20 star that's Abubakar Lawal actually died over there in Uganda in a bike accident. That news actually filtered in yesterday evening and is becoming a reality right now. A lot of people were thinking maybe it was just a mistake or kind of social media issues there, but right now it has been confirmed that the player is dead. Well, right now, let's look at the fourth story. Tragedy. Under 20 star Abubakar Lawal dies in Uganda. Abubakar Lawal actually played for under 20 before he jets out to play in Rwanda. From Rwanda, he moves to Vipers FC of Uganda. And that has been confirmed that he died, although a bit the news filtering. One says he fell from the balcony of an hotel, and another one says he dies from a bike accident. Well, Nigerians are waiting to hear from the team, that's Viper FC. By now, they ought to have issued a statement, although they are yet to say anything, and that has actually become concerns to Nigeria. Let's look at a statement coming from another Nigerian there that has to do with the kind of death that happened to him. Why the story says, majority of the story actually saying he died in a bike accident, but the other one is saying maybe he fell from the balcony of a particular hotel over there. Looking at this, according to Otaye Adegun, after investigation, Abubakar Lawal was not involved in auto crash accident as earlier reported. My findings revealed that the attacking midfielder fell from balcony of an hotel. Well, according to this particular Facebook page there, well, as it is, may his soul rest in perfect peace. As under 20, fantastic player. I've seen him playing for Nasarawa United, very talented, and he played for a lot of other teams. He played for Sokoto United, Kano Pillars, before he jets out of Nigeria to play in Rwanda. From Rwanda League, he moved to Uganda, and that's a player who actually turned 29 this year with his family. As it is right now, may his soul rest in perfect. It's so painful. But right now we have in the studio usual suspect, as I always call him, to talk sport with us this hour. Olawa Lipta is here, and you're not wearing blue today.
Good morning, Adeni. Thanks for having me. Good morning, our viewers. So, why the comments about wearing blue?
No, I thought you were going to wear blue because at least you know that Tuesday I always want to give you some honor by wearing blue.
Yes, and actually I decided not to wear blue because I know you'll be representing Chelsea by wearing blue. So that's why I didn't bother to wear blue today.
1-0.
So you are doing that already.
No problem. Your own is coming.
So a sad one for Lawal, and may his soul rest in perfect peace. And may God forgive all his sins. And it's a sad one. It's a sad one for a young Nigerian with promising future. For what he has done in the country and for what he's trying to do over there also. Irrespective of the circumstances that led to his death, the truth is that he's no more alive, either from the bicycle or from the balcony or whatever the situation. When it is time, something will actually be attached to the reason why someone is not alive again. So the only thing we need to do now is to continue to pray for him and to also to the families, to God, to give them the fortitude to bear this irreparable loss of Lawal. So I think that's all we need to do right now.
Well, my soul really rest in perfect peace right now. So painful there. Abubakar Lawal, a talented player who has done well for himself, a wife and 2 kids, but also that, just like Olawale said, they just have to the fortitude to bear this particular loss, irreparable loss concerning the family of that particular player. They are so painful right now. That's the first story we're looking at on the show. Well, as it is, we hope that it will be well, that the team, Viper FC, will represent well by making sure all this entitlement will be settled for the family of that player there. Away from that story, let's talk about our team who did well by being able to pick the ticket to qualify for the AFROBASKET 2025 that will be coming up in Angola against all odds. They did well and they deserve all the accolades and all the support they are getting right now. According to the story, NSC, National Sports Commission DG Bukola Olapade, congratulate the Tigers, emphasizes on early preparation. That team, as it is, they need to prepare early because August is almost here when they will be going to Angola. They'll be competing against top, best of the best in Africa. Senegal, Angola, the host nation, look at Cote d'Ivoire, Rwanda, All of them will be there. And right now, Nigeria did it against all. 3 games down, they won the 3 games, and they were able to pick the ticket. Right now, early preparation is the key, according to Olakpade.
Yeah, I agree with him. And early preparation is the key. We need to start preparing early for a competition that is starting in August, and we're in February already now. So, and that means we have about 5 months to prepare. So, what do we need to do? If you're talking about preparation is the summary of the word preparation. So that preparation, they have to break it into into segments of the first set of preparation they need to do about camping, about getting the players to come in on time, about getting the player that will represent us. Don't forget that the last time we won this competition was in 2015. That's over 10 years ago. So that shows that we need to reintroduce ourselves back to the stage. And for what they did during the qualifiers, they lost their first 3 matches, and the Nigeria spirit in them that no, I can do it, we never give up, came into them and they achieved what they achieved. So that shows that the talent is there. The resources, we have it. So we just need to give them the enabling environment in terms of the preparation by making sure that they are taken care of, in terms of giving them the necessary exposure and training. It is very, very important. Look at the team that you're going to be playing against. Look at a team that is very similar to their style of play. Look at our rebound, look at our block, look at our shot, look at our movement, look at our strength also. Excuse me, these are the things that we really need to look into and make sure that we put the preparation in place. Not just saying that we need to prepare. What do you want to prepare? You want to prepare by making sure that they get to the camp 2 or 3 months before the competition starts, to make sure that all their allowances is ready, no stories, to be sure that all their kits are readily available, not that they are bringing size 44 for someone that is using 38. We've seen a lot of issues like this before. So that's why I said the issue of preparation is a summary. They have to break it down so that we know that, okay, the first phase, the first month, we have to secure a venue where all of them will camp. Where is that venue? The competition is taking place in Angola. So let's look at a climate that is very similar to that of Angola.
Maybe Gabon, Guinea.
Let them go there, camp, secure everything. Where are they going to stay in Angola also? What's the proximity to? So these are the preparation that they have to really break down and start putting them in place. 5 months is just like you sleep, before you know it, you wake up. But I know the boys, they have what it takes, looking at what they did before they got the qualification, and they still want to prove. And don't forget also, the Tigers, they are one of the sporting events in this country that have gone through a lot of issues, from their federation to the disbursements to they don't have anybody to oversee them. But the boys are still keeping their spirit and souls together. So what the government really needs to do now is to be intentional, to be serious with that word early preparation.
Well, being serious with it, that's the key. Coming from Olawale Peters here, we just have to get it right. If you are to do well for this particular AFROBASKET 2025, after all, the men also want to copy the women. If you look at the Tiger, what they've done, dominating Africa back to back 4 times, and they call it Pete in basketball terms, and that's what the men are also trying to see if they can come to that. But right now, they've been able to scale the first order. Now they want to go for the competition that will be coming up in August. Angola is the place, and we expect them to do well. Early preparation coming from NSC, DG, or Lapa. They're calling for how they will make sure this team are giving necessary support in all facets for them to do well. We're hoping that they will do well. They are making us proud. The likes of Caleb Agada, not forgetting Ikinwamu, Nagu, all of them, Talib Zana, they fought hard and they were able to pick the ticket against Libya, Cape Verde, and also the team from Uganda. Congrats to Team Nigeria, the Tigers. Congrats to the entire Nigerians. From there, let's talk about another set of Nigerians. These set of Nigerians are footballers who are applying their trade over there in Europe. Over the weekend, they did well. Not just Ademola Lookman or Moses Simon. About 13 of them did well over the weekend. And now let's look at that story. Nigerian players abroad. 13 Nigerian stars on score sheet for the weekend. Different clubs over there, even in Africa, they also did well. We look at the list of those Nigerians quickly. A lot of them, I've mentioned Ademola Lookman, Moses Simon, for what they did by being able to score for their different teams. Ademola scored a brace. You have Moses Simon converted a spot kick, and a lot of others. Let's have it. Looking at them one by one for what they did in different teams that applied their trade over there in Europe. Starting from Ishak Rafiu, who plays for Primorje Slovenia rather. At least this will give us a chance to also know some Nigerians who are playing in another league over there. The sensational forward came forward in his goal scoring element to contribute a goal and assist in Primorje 2-2 draw against NK Naft. That's in Slovenian league. Ishak Rafiu. Look at that name. Kingsley Duro, Setif of Algeria, experienced Nigerian talisman, opened his goal account. A long goal which turned out a winning goal for Setif, and Tijani Mohammed did well for Plymouth FC of England. To wearing Nigerian forward, watch that name, also scored a late goal to avert a defeat for Plymouth against Cardiff City. Gift Oban, he did well for Hoffenheim in their game where he scored a goal even though it ended in a draw against Stuttgart. Ademola Lookman, of course, scored a brace after the issue with his coach. It was a way to silence that particular situation. Moses Simon also converted his spot kick to give Nantes another goal to make it 3-1 against Lawrence. Anayo Iwuala, who played over there in Al Arabi, Kuwait, Nigerian international, was a hero for Al Arabi as his lone goal earned him team maximum point against Yarmouk. Tom Dele Bashiru, this is another player playing in Watford, England. The Nigerian forward found back of net once again in Watford 2-0 win against Luton Town. Tolulope Ojo, watch out that name. Elgona, Egypt, Nigerian winger, English name on score sheet rather, to see the 2-0 win for Elgona against Ceramica Cleopatra. Solomon John, who plays in the Czech Republic for Boleslav, he actually did well, found the back of the net against Pardubice. Looking at all the games that were played over the weekend there. Also, John Al-Madina in Tripoli, Libya, he did well also by being able to score for his team in a 1-1 draw in that particular encounter that happened over the weekend. Well, at least looking at those Nigerians who did well in the competition that they find themselves. Slovenia, Egypt, different parts of Europe. And you want to give kudos to all of them for what they did.
Yeah, and we've said it times without number that the resources is never our problem, but how to manage and make the best use of the resources we have, it's the problem we have in this country in terms of everything. Now, let's narrow it down to what we are talking about now. We have talented, as in huge basket of talented players anywhere in the world, both from the goalkeeping, defense, midfielder, attackers. So I still don't understand the reason why it's been difficult for us up to now to have a good team, because the truth be told, we still don't have a good team, but we have good players. We have good players, but we don't have a good team. We have good players, we don't have standard or style of play. We have good players, we don't have good management. That's the truth. So look at what they have been doing. And this is not the first week that they'll be doing this. This is what they've been doing consecutively since the beginning of the season. It's like week in, week out. You hardly watch any Europe competition, either La Liga, Serie A, Premier League, Bundesliga, Scottish League, that you didn't find 1, 2, 3, 4 Nigerians helping their team to secure a point. You hardly see that. But what is now the problem? That when it comes to now bringing them home and making use of them is always a problem. So that's the question we should be asking ourselves. So I think it's the high time. I don't know, maybe it is high time, because we've been saying it's the high time since when, but the high time has not come. Probably one day the high time will come, but this is the right time for us to put sentiment apart. Let's choose if Victor Osimhen, who is our number one top striker right now, if he's not informed for a particular competition, it is not a must that you go with name. You don't go with a name for your competition.
Go with performance.
You go with performance, not the name. But that has been the problem we have. Then the issue of this federal character, that when it comes to sport, you don't look at that.
Pick the best.
You pick the best. If everybody wants to come from Utako,
let them come from Utako.
Let all of them come from Utako. We don't care.
As long as they can achieve success.
For the country. Because at that point when they are playing, nobody will be shouting Utako, Jabi, Area 1. No.
It's Nigeria.
It's Nigeria. Go. Oh, everybody will be happy together. So until we remove that mentality from our thinking, take it or leave it. So I think it's a very good one, seeing them, and there's no station in this country that showcase how talented the Nigerian footballers are than Trust TV. Because almost on a weekly basis, we showcase what we have. And that is something that is really missing in Nigeria, in Africa. We don't really showcase our hood the way we should showcase them. We don't. So it is high time we have to continue to do that, because it's like they too, wherever they are, they're like, oh, so that means we've been appreciated.
Somebody can talk about us.
Somebody can talk about us. So it's a very good one. I'm particularly happy for the African Footballer of the Year.
Ademola
Lookman. You see, the only way you can shut people's mouths is by telling them that I'm still the best in what I do. Look at the rant by his coach. Whatever excuses he gave after that first press conference, that it was worth, nothing to justify that statement at all. That's not a statement to motivate a player. That statement alone
can kill the morale
of the player. But like I said earlier in the show, we are Nigerians. Our spirit is second to none anyway. So he shut his mouth by scoring a brace. So that is how you reply. That's how you respond to your critics that, don't worry, I'm the worst penalty taker, but I'll tell you that I'm your most valuable player, and your best player as of today in Atlanta. So a very good one for him, a good one to other people. So I think this is an opportunity for the coach to try as much as possible to spread his tentacles, to look at the best. Today is 25th of February. In the next one month, we're not just playing, no. We are playing
Zimbabwe and Rwanda.
We are playing a crucial match that will determine our fate if we are going to qualify or play at the World Cup. So I think it is high time for him to start watching 360 Sport on Trust TV, so that if he doesn't know where all these good players are, this is an avenue for him to be doing that. Because take it or leave it, we have the players. Slovenia, for example. Probably some people doesn't even know that the country exists that called Slovenia. But now they got to know that they even have a player in Nigeria that is doing very, very, very well over there. So I think we should try as much as possible to choose the best when it comes to representing this country. We should leave sentiment apart.
Leaving sentiment apart is the major key right now, because we have to promote our own. If you continue to focus about theirs, no one, they will never ever talk about ours. How many foreign stations have you actually was to see them discuss the MPFL? Is always very, I don't even think they will focus on Nigerian Premier League. Well, maybe this is it, you see it on particular website that they have matches going on. But really, we continue to promote our own. After all, we document Nigerian stories from Trust TV. Right now, we're talking about Nigerians abroad in Slovenia, Bulgaria, Czech Republic. Just yesterday, Gift Monday, our Nigerian lady exports over there in Spain. She's doing well. She was nominated among other 6 players that will be vying for Player of the Month for the month of February. And a host of others who are also doing well over there in US, in Europe, in Asia, plying their trade, both women and men. And really, we continue to promote them for what they're doing in different moments. Not just the top 5 leagues in Europe. We look at those Nigerians, spreading our tentacles to see what they're doing over the weekend, or what they're doing during the week in their playing time over there in their different clubs. Well, from that particular story, we're picking out a player from it, just as he mentioned, Ademola Lookman. Those goals he scored against Empoli, actually, and him at least a record, also becoming the second Nigerian. Looking at that story, Ademola Lookman becomes second highest Nigerian Serie A scorer behind Victor Osimhen. In total, he has scored 35 goals. Osimhen is leading the pack with 65, and you can't give him credit, because right now 12 goals so far scored in Italian Serie A for him this season. And look at this same player who has been able to score more than 10 since he joined Atalanta Bergamo, and he has really done well. Looking at all the area of start of play over there in Italy from Nigeria, Bafemi Martins, Ayodele Makinwa, all of them, Obinna Sofo, they've all played, Joel Obi, all played in Italian Serie A. But Ademola Lookman is standing out now behind Victor Osimhen when it comes to scorers chart there, scoring 35 goals in all since he joined them, and that's an accolade. Well, that he has done well.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything to prove to anybody again. Honestly, I'll still continue to re-emphasize on the ugly statement made by his coach. And he doesn't need anything to prove to him. This is a player that's called hat-trick. hat-trick at the
Europa
final to give you a trophy that you've never gotten before. So making that statement against
in 60 years.
In 60 years, yes. Making that statement against such a player is totally disrespectful. It's disrespectful for him to have uttered that statement. Take it or leave it. Only because Ademola Lookman is just a humble man, humble player. If he's not a humble player,
just imagine, yes, taking that from you, I just imagine, with all due respect, if this will happen to Osimhen. No, sincerely.
Ikorodu boy.
The guy will go livid.
Definitely he will, because it's very demoralizing. What he said, very demoralizing. So
and if you look at it this way, let's look at it from their own side of it, because a lot of people look at, okay, maybe because Ademola is black, okay, we have actually picked one of our own. Let's look at it internationally. Let it be like Ibrahimovic when he was playing. Or Gattuso.
No, you can't do that. if you do that to Ibrahimovic or Gattuso or Eric Cantona, they will, during that press conference, that's when they will go and attack him. So you see, the truth is, I don't want to sound the way they are sounding, but they still have this post-colonial mentality that we are still inferior and they are superior to us. Take it or leave it. We've seen Roberto Baggio, for example, at the World Cup, Italian 90, he missed a penalty that denied them the World Cup. Did you see his coach saying he's a worst penalty taker?
Lionel Messi, Ronaldo, they all miss penalty.
And there's a question I've been asking on my page, that how many penalties has Ademola Lookman taken? How many has he missed?
Only one?
He has only missed 2 penalties in his entire career, and he has scored 7 penalties. And you're saying that he's the worst penalty takers? Honestly, it's not something that should be swept under the ground. He really needs to come out and apologize for that statement.
He actually made a statement.
The statement is different from apology.
He said he will apologize behind the scene.
No, he shouldn't. When he made that statement, it wasn't behind the scene.
He said
because
Ademola Lookman is my son. Let me quote, I still remember, is my son, and I know how to handle the situation, even though he's one of the best players, blah, 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 blah. They now say the management want me to apologize, but I will do that privately.
See, that's arrogancy.
Of course, we know that Gasparini has shown a lot of arrogancy in this matter.
Because to start with, who told him that it was one that gave birth to Ademola Lookman? See, let's leave all this English that I'm your father, the son know his father. Sorry, a child know his father. So it shouldn't be. And if truly Ademola Lookman is his son, he wouldn't have done what he did to Ademola Lookman. Publicly. That's number one. Then number two, he wants to apologize behind the camera. The statement he made, does it make the statement behind the camera?
No.
As a good manager, as a good leader, you don't criticize or bring down your team in front of everybody. You don't do that. That is a way to demotivate, no matter how good, how fantastic you are as a player. Okay, let's look at Anthony of Manchester United. I'll be honest with you, he's a fantastic player. Look at what he's doing at Real Betis right now. He's doing very well. He has called.
Even Rashford too has peaked.
Also. So look at Sancho's also. The problem is when all these pundits, they criticize players a lot, it demotivates them. And most of these players also, they now want to play to the tune of these pundits, and from there they will lose it. That's what happens to the like of Anthony, Sancho's, Rashford also, but Ademola Lookman, he doesn't allow that to affect him. That is why the next match is called Ebre. So take it or leave it, it's a fantastic play, and the record is set. And that of Victor Osimhen, it's a record that will take another decade of any Nigerian or even African player to set that same record. So that shows that wherever they go to, they are primus inter pares. We are known for that in this country. We are best among equals. We are best in what we do. So we should not get ourselves disturbed with the critics, what they have to say, what they are going to say. We only give them our response on the field of play.
Well, seriously, we just have to appreciate what Nigerian players are doing over there in Europe. Well, talking about Ademola Lookman brace against Empoli for Atalanta Bergamo in that game, where he was able to silence what the coach did to him. Well, he actually tweeted, I remember him saying, pain to power, at least from that pain, humbly trying to correct the narrative. Although he said the fans of Atalanta should forgive the coach and let's move on and achieve with that team as it is right now. It's getting more interesting. That is why, if you check Jose Mourinho, he's never a friend of pundit. He's always attacking all of them. That somebody will sit down in the studio and begins to analyze. You have to be very careful. because I remember when Rooney took over as a coach, Rooney, Lampard, now they can actually appreciate coaches better.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you check their record, maybe their football CV as a coach, nobody will ask Rooney again. If they should put Rooney in a box in the studio right now to say, okay, what can you say about this match or this? He would tell them no comment.
No, but I think I differ also. You see, most of these so-called failed coaches turn pundits, they don't have shame at all. Because if you look at most of their comments, even after they failed woefully as a coach, you still see them going to the studio. You are there, you have the opportunity of correcting the wrong that you are seeing in the studio. See, it is a different ball game when the responsibility is given to you, but it's very good for you from outside to criticize. For example, if a player is playing now, you don't even know how to kick ball. You don't know how to play ball.
I know how to kick ball. Come on, I play.
People that doesn't know even how to play ball.
Okay, people, not me.
Okay, let's assume. Okay. Let's assume, hypothetically saying that you know how to play ball, even though you know you don't know how to play ball.
Oh my goodness.
So let's assume that you know how to play ball. You see them criticizing players on the field of play. You see them, no, Nicolas Jackson. Okay, for example now, I'm not diverting.
No, of course, you just mentioned
Nicolas Jackson, for example. We've been complaining, Chelsea fans. Nicolas Jackson is a bad player since he got injured. What has happened to Chelsea?
Because they refuse to buy Osimhen.
What has happened to Kopama? So people are not looking at the effort that the pressure is mounting on defenders that make them to commit a mistake. They're not looking at his assist. They're not looking at, so you don't really criticize a player if you have not been in their shoe before. Like someone like us, like me, that have been a player and a coach, I know what it takes. I know what it takes to be a player and to be a coach. So you don't just come on air and criticize and bring that. You only criticize when it is needed. So that you don't turn to John Mikel Obi. I don't want to go into that route again.
Well, as it is right now, we've been talking about football funding and also looking at Ademola Lookman's progress in football. But that takes us to this particular big story that happened. That has to do with Jamie Carragher. Remember him, Liverpool legend, although with some quotes there. But he made a statement concerning Mo Salah, where he was talking about him. Will he be able to win Ballon d'Or or FIFA Best Award for the fact that he plays in AFCON? And because to him, AFCON is less important compared to Euros or CONCACAF or all the other competitions. That has gotten him a lot of backlash from Africans and even across, because even the English press are also really attacking him. His own men, like
Richard.
Yes, Richard, all of them, they actually attacked him. Not forget the fact that right now he actually came up. AFCON disrespect. Carragher clarifies his comment. Let's look at the comment that he made after that particular situation there, talking about him. Coming from his Twitter X handle, according to him, Salah AFCON Ballon d'Or. The point I was trying to make yesterday was that Mo Salah is at a disadvantage playing for Egypt in terms of him winning the Ballon d'Or. If Salah had an average season at Liverpool but won the AFCON and was MVP, I don't think he will win the Ballon d'Or. According to him, that is on X, so that we can see. Then let's look at the full excerpt from this, what he said. That's Carragher now. Well, looking at what he said, well, let's take it on like that. He said, if Salah had an average season at Liverpool but won AFCON and was named MVP, I don't think he will win the Ballon d'Or because AFCON doesn't carry the same weight as other tournaments. But if Mbappe had an average season at Real Madrid and won the World Cup or Euros, he will still have a strong chance. Carragher also referenced past cases, adding it's not just about AFCON. Shevchenko and Lewandowski were never going to win the World Cup or Euros to boost their Ballon d'Or chances. It's simply a reality, not a controversial statement. Addressing Sadio Mane's second place finish in Ballon d'Or rankings, he noted, I know Mane finished second a few years ago after winning AFCON, but that alone wasn't enough. Liverpool being 2 games away from a quadruple play a huge role in that as well. Carragher concluded by acknowledging that his wording could have been better. It's not disrespectful to say the World Cup, Euros, and Copa America are bigger tournaments. It's just my opinion based on what I watched. Calling AFCON not a major competition was clumsy, but I think most people understood the point I was making. Well, as it is, it's getting a lot of backlash from all social media platforms.
The first thing is Carragher should be banned from coming to AFCON.
It's not even coming.
It should be banned from even commenting, okay, or analyzing any AFCON matches to start with. See, this is not the first time. This is not the second time, and this is not the third time, and this will not be the last time if you do not come out strongly to condemn this racist, I call it racist statement. It is, take it or leave it. Now, when Michael Owen won the Ballon d'Or in 2001, did they win the Europe that season? Capital no. Now let's take his statement. The current football season, are we having any major competition like World Cup, Europe, or AFCON? It's only AFCON that we are having. So his comparison is like a second thought. To start with, he's obsessed with Mo Salah. He criticized Mo Salah a lot, but unfortunately,
the guy is doing so well.
Mo Salah, in pecking order, is a legend, still playing in Liverpool, unlike him. I don't call him a legend. He just goes to the studio and just utter rubbish out of his mouth. How will you devalue a trophy that is more expensive than the Premier League? That's AFCON. You should go and check his record very well. How can you disrespect a trophy that is even more expensive than the Champions League? So how can you disrespect a trophy that is being played in the continent of Africa that has over 1 billion people and saying that it does not count? Probably it's not his fault. It's the fault of our past leaders, the football administration, that they have sold their birthright to the hero. Maybe that's the reason why he has the guts, the audacity to be talking that way. If not, you cannot disrespect Africa like that.
I think to some extent, as it is right now, a lot of people are beginning to ask questions that, okay, maybe they should find a way to get Carragher out because he's becoming very disrespectful. Though, let's look at this statement from Egyptian legend. Jamie Carragher doesn't know what major tournament is because he never won one. AFCON is a major tournament, so proud to won it twice. Ahmed El Mohammadi tweeting that on his X handle. And really, Carragher needs to watch it because I think, well, like they say, in the Sena climb, I'm sure their climb is Sena, right? Okay, something must be done about this. You are disrespecting 54 African nations coming together to play their tournament by saying the tournament is less. Is less important compared to Copa America, Euros, World Cup. Let's even leave World Cup out. That is World Cup. But you mentioned Euro and Copa America, that AFCON is less important compared to those two. But remember, anytime they want to play AFCON, most clubs in Europe will be holding back the players.
They'll be the one crying. They'll be the one crying. And this is more particular to Liverpool management. Remember Jurgen Klopp also, he made same statements.
I remember.
During the last AFCON competition.
From different angles.
So what I think we really needs to do in this country, in this continent rather, is for us to really project ours. We're not projecting it enough. We need to project it, number one. And then number two, the ex-footballers, the ex-internationals of different countries should come together, rally that support. Because what they are trying to do now, they are trying to tell us that Mo Salah, with his astonishing performance,
stylishly now,
that is what they are saying, that he doesn't
deserve be able to win that Ballon d'Or. It's already coming. It's coming like a narrative.
That is exactly what the issue is, but people are not looking at it. So this is high time. We don't believe in sentiments. Take it or leave it. We are talking about someone that deserves to win this Ballon d'Or. Mo Salah deserves to win it. Then all ex-international, they need to come out against Jamie Carragher for that statement because it disrespected them. The likes of Drogba, Toure, Abedi Pele, Okocha, all of them, it disrespected them by saying that Samuel Eto'o, that the competition in which they won, they played for, it's less important. They have to look at it more than what he said. And this is not the first time they're saying it. And look at his statement he uttered also. It's not apologetic at all.
That's very arrogant. So
it's very, very, just like
Gasparini
said, that it does not, it's someone that doesn't, if you don't win something that is worth of value, you don't understand the value of such item. What major trophy does he win in his career? He even scored more home goals
for Liverpool
than anybody else in their career. So what is he not talking about? So I think it is high time they really have to call him to order. How do they need to call him to order? They have to really give it back to him. You can't be disrespecting African continent like this all the time.
As it says from what you have just mentioned, I remember a particular tweet also that came around the X handle saying, Carragher should ask Eto'o, Drogba, Abedi Pele, late Rashidi Yeki, all the players that play AFCON, how tough AFCON can actually be. Then you should compare it to Euro. Because there was a time I remember somebody brought up that topic, AFCON and Euro, which one is tougher? People were looking at, a lot of people were, Euro, but somebody now analyzed and said, because if you watch Euro on TV, it looks very glamorous and fast and competitive and whatever. Aside that packaging, when you look at the players that are playing AFCON and look at their impact in Europe, in European club football, that's where you will know that really we have talent in Africa. Because majority of them, when they move away from their club, you see the effect you actually tell on Premier League. You see it that some players are not around and it's telling on those clubs, and the clubs will find a way. Immediately a country is out, they quickly send a jet to come and pick you. So that you come and play.
I think that same competition is less important. So why are the clubs sending a private jet? Even if there's a small knock on a player,
they come around.
Before you know it, they send their medical
or
team.
The country is out.
It's out, immediately they send them. So I think it's just talking out of content, and it's someone that I think he likes to, he likes awareness, he likes notice me, like we normally call it in Nigeria. He likes people to really see him talking, but unfortunately, I don't think maybe after his podcast, he normally goes home and listens to himself and asks himself that, am I the one that uttered this rubbish? Maybe that's what he needs to do, but nevertheless, we seriously needs to come out, not only against him, other people, probably speaking for some people that you don't know yet.
Yeah, but seriously, I see though, if you check it right now, Europe-wise, I'm not even looking at Copa America, I'm not looking at CONBOL or CONCACAF, I'm looking at Europe now. When it comes to leagues in Europe, Mo Salah has scored 25 goals. Haaland and Isak are on 19 goals. Match day 27. And looking at what Liverpool, the way they are playing Champions League, what they are looking for now, going for the quadruple if everything goes well. Now, you look at Mo Salah is already putting himself in that particular contest for Ballon d'Or or FIFA Best Award, even Africa Footballer of the Year. The way it's going, if he continues to bang him on goals and put in more contribution to that team, he could actually win the three. But as it's going right now, making that statement that for the fact that even if he wins AFCON and or Liverpool wins, thereby comparing the two, adding AFCON slightly to make it discredit Mo Salah that he will not win Ballon d'Or. That's kind of a statement that really needs to be scrutinized. A lot of Africans need to come and begin to like, okay, why are you saying this?
Okay, so I think at this point, Mo Salah shouldn't be distracted. Probably what they're trying to do is to distract him. You know one thing about these people? They have their ways of playing the mind games. Let's distract him. And this is not the first time. The issue of his contract renewal has been a major distraction to him. But the only way he's responding back to them is scoring more goals and making more assists. So far, so good this season alone. Mo Salah have made 44 goals contribution to Liverpool. The sixth highest in the history of Premier League. So before the end of this season, probably going to break his own record of scoring 32 goals in 2017.
With 11 matches to go.
11 matches to go. And going by the rate of a goal and assist per match. So you shouldn't get distracted. You should focus on winning the Premier League. You should focus on winning the Champions League. You should focus on winning the Heart of the FA Cup, the Carling Cup also. So that should be his focus right now. Then after that, they can see what will happen. The season is ending in the next 2-3 months now. So you shouldn't allow the likes of someone that doesn't want it. And just like what Salah responded about 2 months ago when they are talking about his contract, and he said that he should leave the contract, he should be facing, scoring and helping Liverpool to win the trophies. And Salah just went to his ex and said, I think you are obsessed with me. So that is the message. And take it or leave it. It's about obsession. He is obsessed with his achievements, with his performance.
Not funny enough, they actually play for the same team. Carragher play for Liverpool. Mo Salah is doing so the same team that you loved. So I didn't understand.
Is there everybody in Nigeria that want progress for Nigeria?
Oh, anyway, you have actually crowned it there with that particular icing on the cake. But seriously, we're talking about Jimmy Carragher really berating AFCON for that particular trophy that the whole Africans celebrate. Well, even though he was trying to talk about Mo Salah winning the Ballon d'Or or FIFA Best Award, maybe he should have put AFCON there. According to him, it's a clumsy statement, and we just hope that really. But why is it very difficult for people to just apologize? Oh, I'm so sorry, Africans, for saying this. I don't mean it that way. Simple. All these explanations make you look very heady and make you, no matter what you're going to say, just, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way.
We don't even need this apology. At this point, we don't need this apology because it is too late.
As it is, the fans of Atalanta loves Ademola Lookman more than the coach.
Yes.
What does it take? Okay, Atalanta fans, I'm sorry. Worldwide, I'm sorry. What's his name? Ademola Lookman is my son, or whatever I want to say. It was just a moment. Emotions got the better side of me. I'm sorry about it.
At that age, with that experience, and at that level, emotions should never get the best of the coach. And this is the player that scored the first goal for you.
He came on 36 seconds afterwards.
Yes. He scored the first goal, and he missed the penalty.
And he said the penalty taker told him to take
the penalty. Not that it's good. He didn't do the likes of Nicholas Jackson, Kopama fighting to play the penalty. The penalty taker take it. It's a sign of respect and confidence. So not that he struggled or he took it. And we've seen times without number. The likes of Messi has given Suarez ball to play. Mbappe has given Messi penalty to play. We've seen that with, times without number, where the penalty taker will hand the ball over to someone else to play. I recall vividly there was a season where Chelsea, they really need to win a match. And we all know Lampard is a penalty taker. But Drogba is fighting for the golden boot as at that time. So he had 18 goals. And his closest rival then, I think Sergio Aguero also, is having the same 17 or 18 goals. And we had a penalty. And Lampard said no. The club play first before the individual. So he played and he got another penalty and he gave him the ball and he scored. So what are we trying to say this time around? It is not a fault of Ademola Lookman that he missed the penalty. Because he didn't take the penalty unlawfully or illegally. They gave it to him as a sign of respect. Pay the penalty, he scored the first goal, probably can go on hat-trick.
And the same player that actually gave him lost against Arsenal.
Yes.
The one he was supposed to convert.
Yes. So let's call it spade a spade. The issue of my son, my daughter, take it out of it. It's emotional blackmail. Because if truly Ademola Lookman is his son, he will not have put him under the box, like we normally say here. He wouldn't have done that. He will have found a way to manage the situation and go back inside and scold him or whatever he wants to do, but not doing it publicly. And that's number one. Then number two, they will never apologize. Because of this, their post-colonial mentality, that they still see us as if we are inferior to them. That's the only reason why they will not apologize. Like you rightly mentioned earlier, can they try this with Ibrahimovic, Gattuso, Eric Cantona, even the likes of Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo? Can he do that?
Ronaldo will have actually reacted.
He won't even try it. Neymar and Co. He won't do that. But when it comes to Africa, they always see us as second-hand resources.
Maybe second class.
No, it's even second-hand, not class. Don't put class there. Because if there's class there, we'll have given him the respect that he deserves. So seriously, we have to come out to really fight against all these so-called derogatory statements that they are making, and I call it discrimination in one way, a racist attitude and behavior that really needs to be looked into.
Well, looking for about that particular Jimmy Carragher derogatory statement, and also a kind of underrating Africa as a continent. Well, as it is, a lot of talents being exported from this continent over there in Europe. And if you check world football today, despite the fact that John Opongwe is the only African that has ever won that award, Ballon d'Or, we know a lot of Africans that actually deserve it to win it. J.J. Okocha is a player that till tomorrow, other players from other continents will always say that this player outstanding talent from Nigeria. And aside that, we have a lot of other African players, Eto'o, Drogba, all of them doing so well when they were playing, and they deserve those awards too. Not that those players are better. In fact, we placed them one-on-one with those players. How many of them could actually bench Eto'o or Drogba while they were playing? Or JJ Okocha? Well, as it is right now, Africa needs to unite and come together to promote themselves and fight for themselves also, making sure they are not second class to any continent when it comes to football business. After all, we are all contributing to the success of football across board. When it comes to FIFA, FIFA always know that in this continent, this particular continent brings a lot of razzmatazz when it comes to the culture of celebrating. You look at Nigerian jersey. Why is it that FIFA always wishes that Nigeria comes to the tournament? Because they know they make a lot of sales. And when it comes to branding, when it comes to a lot of things, because Nigeria is there, people want to see. And aside that, as it is right now, AFCON is very, very special. That's the last one we're coming from the studio here. And from there, let's talk about big ones coming up. Maybe it's big or not big. Our Levita will actually be answering that. The Blues will be at home at Stamford Bridge to play against Southampton. That's the game we're looking at. Premier League, Chelsea hosts Bottom Table, Southampton in London. We know 4 matches are all for grabs today, but I just pick one out of it that has to do with
Chelsea, Southampton.
No, I know. Maybe, I love Chelsea now.
You don't love Chelsea? Okay, it's going to be a very good match.
Chelsea.
It's going to be a very good match to watch, and I hope Chelsea will use this opportunity to really come back to life. And the last five matches have been very woeful for them. They only won 2, they lost 3, and which is not really good. And our playmaker has not really been himself so far. That's Cole Palmer, and that doesn't mean he is not a good player, like we all know. But I think this will be a turning point for them to really win, because if you look at the top 4 battle now, and it's very challenging. Chelsea is currently 7th on the log table, and we have Manchester City, they are 4th on the log table, and the point between 7th and 4th is just 2 points. So that shows that what you just need to do is concentrate, win your match, don't worry about anything else, because everything will continue to turn. And the likes of Nottingham Forest, maybe it is setting in now, and this is the period where you are now separating men from the boys. You can see their last 2-3 matches now, they are not really informed like they used to. So that means everything is still open. Liverpool take it or leave it. 11-point gap, and especially when you look back and you see that it is Arsenal that is pursuing you, you can go to bed and sleep. Now you have nothing to worry about.
Of course.
Arsenal will always be Arsenal.
Okay.
Arsenal will always be whom they are, second best, third best. So as far as I'm concerned, the title is already given to Liverpool. So the battle now between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position, which is still open to anybody.
Okay.
But I see Chelsea winning tonight.
Of course, they should be able to win against Southampton.
Don't say against Southampton, because those people
anybody should be able to beat Southampton. With all the respect of that club, anyway, just a jive. Anyway, let's look at it this way. You've been having 1-0 since, but let me just throw a little one. Let's have that gift for Lawale Princess, please.
Wow.
At least, look at this. According to Samuel Chibuzo said this. I didn't say it.
Okay.
On his own. And he said sometimes make we know too they blame Maresca. Even person where teach and work they suffer. Look at this. Person where teach and work say they suffer, and you look at them hugging, you know.
And if you look at them, they even look like twins.
Seriously, with the bald head,
with
right?
The bald head. So,
seriously.
Honestly, this is not the best of time for Maresca. I'm not surprised. Even for Guardiola, I'm not really surprised. To be honest with you, it's not really easy for you to have been in the form that Manchester City have been for the past 5 seasons, to win the Premier League, the most entertaining and interesting football league, 4 times back to back. I think it's something that really worth everybody's applaud. They've really done very well for themselves. So it's like it's setting in. And the mistake they made was last season. Most of their players are old and they are aged. But instead of him to change the team, he kept on with them. That's why this January you can see about 4 or 5 players coming in. So next season, and as worse as it is for them, they are still going to play in Champions League next season. So take it or leave it. Pep Guardiola it's not still a bad or worse season.
Let me
for
just
them.
take it from your mouth there before they boot us out of the studio. Our time is off on the show 360 Sport on Trust TV with Olawale Peters being with us. And we talked about a lot of things, but right now we have to go. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Adeni, it's my pleasure being here. Thanks for having me.
Okay, Adeni Ajishafe Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.